The night God slept is an idea, a sort of a metaphor trying to get at theodicy, or the problem of how can a God who's supposedly powerful, all-powerful, and completely loving and good coexist with nature, which I think most people would agree there's evil and there's something very broken about the world that we see and fragmented. And that's what even our name Silent Planet alludes to. It's this terror of creation. The idea that like there's a separation between all living things. Some people would call that sin or selfishness, but like we are separated from one another. And the night God slept deals with like these problems of evil in times when it seems like maybe God just fell asleep at some point, or just gave up, or just walked away from us. Because I think as humans, we've been walked away from, we've been given up on. And so I think a lot of us wonder, like, maybe God did. And I was really inspired by that. The conclusion I come to sort of by the end of the album is that actually I don't think that God is asleep or is absent to the problem of human suffering. I think humans are actually absent to the problem of human suffering. And I think that the whole time that I thought of these stories as like God's dream, I think it's actually humanity's dream, that like what we see, the evil we see, is actually been created by our own selfishness. And it's so easy, and René Girard deals with this in his really famous work, I Saw Satan Fall Like Lightning, where we often we externalize evil. We say like it's that other people group, you know, the us versus them. It's the jihadist terrorists who create evil. If I'm a Republican, it's the Democrats. If I'm a Democrat, it's the Republicans. It's the other group that's the problem. It's not me. Because dealing with the evil in the mirror is a psychological trauma that very few people, I think, ever really do on a substantial basis. And that's spirituality. That's dealing with my own shit, you know, and not externalizing it. And I think that the problem of suffering for so long, people have pegged on like, well, then God can't be there, or it's God's fault, because we don't want to deal with our own choice. You know, we don't want to deal with this monster. And so I think that I deal with this album thinking like, maybe God, you aren't there to it, but realizing that like it's been me, it's been my selfishness, it's been my isolation, it's been our culture's homophobia and our sexism and our addictions that has caused this evil. It's not you, God. So that's sort of the idea behind the night God slept. That's the conclusion I come to, is that maybe we've been asleep.